he hated Bulls management. He especially hated the general manager, Jerry Krause, who he thought was a fool. And I don't think Jerry Krause was a fool, but Michael hated him because Michael always had to have somebody to hate. If you didn't deserve it, he still hated you. He was going to make it up if he had to. I hate him. I hate him. I'm going to get him. I'm going to make him pay. And because they would not keep his head coach, Phil Jackson, because they wanted him out. Jerry Reinsdorf, the owner, even recently told me, well, Phil just wanted out. And I never heard that, and I don't know that for a fact. I didn't get that. But if you watch the Last Dance documentary, it's 1998 Chicago. Again, I'm right in the middle of it. Michael flat out quit, and he was at the back end of his prime. He was 35 years of age. He quit on principle because they wouldn't bring back Phil Jackson and wanted to replace him with a college coach named Tim Floyd from Iowa State. And Michael said, okay, watch this. I'm walking into the sunset. And he stayed gone for 3 years of his prime, from 35 to age 38. He didn't play basketball, which I thought was the biggest waste of talent in the history of all of sports. So he had just retired. He's playing in a pro-am because he fashioned himself. He deluded himself into believing he could play pro golf. And he's good, but not that, like he's good. Like I can occasionally be good, but not that good. So he's playing in a pro-am, and he saw me and he waved me under the ropes and said, come walk with me. And so we're walking, and he hit his drive in a fairway bunker. Do you guys play golf?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. He hits his drive 250-ish into the right fairway bunker. And these are hard shots, man, because it's a par 5, and he's got 300 left to the green. And he pulls out his 3-wood, and I'm like, damn, are you really going to do this? You're going to try this? Because I wouldn't try that out of the sand. I wouldn't think I could get the club underneath the golf ball and get it airborne out of the sand.
Just
like
hit
that.
the lip of the bunker.
You're going to hit
It's the worst.
Okay, it's the worst. I did it yesterday.
It can save you sometimes.
Lip of the bunker?
Yeah.
Sometimes it'll like roll out to the fairway, but most of the time it'll just come back to
I
you.
hate the thud of you hear it. I heard it yesterday where it's off your club and you hear an immediate thud into the lip, and it's just like excruciating.
You know what's great though? When you're in the fairway bunker and like you're playing like a best ball or scramble and everyone thinks you're counted out. A nice fairway bunker shot when you hit the green in regulation.
Oh Lord,
is one of the greatest feelings.
And can
when you just nip the ball just perfectly out of the fairway bunker.
Yeah.
Just to throw that
Worst
out there.
feelings when you can't get out of the sand and everyone's watching you.
like 3 times or 4 times.
Yeah.
I would totally agree.
Yeah.
So
Anyways.
Michael take his 3-wood, and I said, how are you going to do that? And he said, I'm going to imagine this golf ball has Jerry Krause's face on it. So that was cool to me, because in Chicago at that time, for me to write that was huge. And then my other favorite Jordan was, they're playing Indiana in the conference finals. Reggie Miller, it's a really good Indiana team that pushed them to the brink, to the limit. Took 7 games in Chicago. So we're at Indiana, and they let us in, the media in, just as practice had ended. And Jordan is shooting free throws for money with several teammates. And he has a blindfold on, and he's shooting left-handed. I witnessed this, okay? And it was down to the last shot, and he's going, again, did he have it down a little bit where he could peek or something? I don't think so, because I saw a blindfold, and I saw him shoot left-handed when he's right-handed. And he swished it, and all the guys watching just fell on the floor, like that's impossible, and he did it to win however much, because he was big money better, big gambling. And then the final Jordan that I also witnessed was, there was a kid whose name is going to escape me. I look it up, and then I can't remember, because he never did anything. He was from Oregon State, and the Bulls, after Jordan retired, took him at the bottom of the first round, because obviously they had won the championship, so they had the last pick. I'll think of him in a little bit. But on draft night, he said, my only regret is that Mike retired and I can't take him one-on-one in practice. And I read it like, oh, that's not a good thing to say. So they start the next year. About a month into the season, I happen to be at the Berto Center where they practiced, and Jordan shows up in sweats. And I'm like, what are you doing? He said, I have a score to settle. I said, really? I said, do you know Tim? He said, no, I never met Tim. So he walks out on the floor, introduces himself to the new coach of the Bulls, Tim Floyd, and says, I want him one-on-one right now. And we're like, seriously? So he unzips, and the kid's horrified. He's saucer-eyed. Like Jordan has showed up, like God has come back from the dead. You know, this is, yeah. And he wants to play me. And I tried to keep score. They played, I think, to 20 by single baskets. Whatever, wherever you shot it, you just got 1
Home
point.
runs.
And he beat him 20-5. And it was devastating to watch because it felt like it went on for 3 hours. And that's the guy who is by far the greatest player ever. That was cold-blooded killer. I'm going to come back, and I'm not even in shape because I haven't been playing, and I'm going to annihilate him in front. He wanted us to see it, to shut that kid's mouth.